And Iraq is set to start legal proceeding against Islamic State fighters who are being transferred from Syria's prisons with help of U.S. forces. And this comes as a fragile ceasefire holds between the Syrian government and Kurdish-led forces amid mass displacement in northeast Syria. Now, in Syria, government forces have begun transferring Kurdish fighters from a northern prison that had been holding Islamic State detainees. Buses and cars were seen leaving the Al-Aqtan province on the outskirts of the city overnight. Now, the transfer was part of a weekend agreement between Syrian government and the Kurdish-led forces. It was aimed at easing tensions after weeks of clashes. The U.S. military says it has moved 150 Islamic State fighters from a jail in Hasakeh province to a secure location in Iraq. This was part of a larger operation to move 7,000 Islamic State from the country. The transfer follows a ceasefire agreement that has brought much of Syria's northeast under Damascus control after the Kurdish-led Syrian Democratic Forces withdrew from key areas, including detention sites holding thousands of Islamic State suspects and their relatives. The Iraqi Prime Minister Mohammad Shia al-Sudani met U.S. Special Envoy for Syria Tom Barak in Baghdad on Thursday to discuss the transfer of Islamic State prisoners from northeast Syria to Iraqi detention centers. Syria's UN Ambassador Ibrahim Olabi welcomed the American operation, saying the government is ready to provide logistical and security support to ensure its success.
In this context, the Syrian government welcomes the American operation to transfer ISIS detainees out of Syrian territory and affirms its readiness to provide the necessary logistical and security support to ensure its success.
Despite the ceasefire in force, the situation on ground continues to remain volatile, with both sides continuing to accuse each other of breaching the fragile ceasefire. Meanwhile, the United Nations says more than 134,000 people have been displaced in northeast Syria. Aid supplies reached Qamishli in Syria on Thursday, where families displaced from the northeast have taken shelter in schools.
We left Raqqa with difficulty. We didn't have a car, and our children are young. The weather was very cold. We faced many hardships until we reached Qamishli. Our car broke down on the road, and our children stayed out in the rain. All of our children became sick because of the rain.
The United Nations says it has taken over management of vast camps in northeast Syria, housing tens of thousands of women and children linked to the Islamic State. The Al-Hol and Roj camps together hold around 28,000 civilians.
And UNHCR, which has taken over camp management responsibilities, is actively coordinating with the Syrian government to urgently resume the safe delivery of life-saving humanitarian assistance.
In just 3 days, the number of internally displaced people surged from 5,725 on Sunday to more than 134,000 in the last 3 days. According to reports, more than 41,000 people in collective shelters in Hasakeh province urgently need food, mattresses, and blankets. While in Aleppo province's Ain al-Arab, more than 1,600 people have fled. Displaced families are heading into Kurdish-held enclaves as government forces continue their advance, taking control of Raqqa and Deir ez-Zor after pushing Kurdish fighters from parts of Aleppo earlier this month. Iraq has stepped up security along its border with Syria, deploying hundreds of military vehicles and personnel along the frontier in the northern province of Sinjar.